What's up YouTube? Capital G here. Got some Mystic Mind Fuel duels for you guys to check out, showing you the good, the bad, and the ugly of when you play this card. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you're not even running it in a burn variant. You guys know by now, Mystic Mind can be used in everything from obviously your standard burn to Exodia to also like Sky Strikers because they only keep like one monster on the field. I've even seen some people also running it in like Guru control because Guru's another deck that only keeps like one monster on the field. You can run the card in a multitude of decks, and this is going to be essentially a race against the clock. It's Metaphys versus Mystic Mind Exodia, and the thing about this matchup that's kind of bad for the Mystic Mind player is Metaphys can easily out Mystic Mind because of Metaphys Dimension. If another Metaphys card is banished while Dimension is already face up, you get to pop a card on your opponent's side of the field, and you can see right here he has Metaphys Dimension, so it's not like he's going to have to wait for that to kick in. It wouldn't make any sense to try to use it now because his opponent really doesn't have anything good committed, but he is going to obviously go for that metaverse. He goes for a Geometrio to just make sure his opponent has more monsters than him, just confirming it. And now he can actually just start wrecking the Mystic Mind. This is a cool new card, by the way. If you guys don't know, Dragonstorm Return. It's from Rising Rampage, which is going to be released in... I think we're getting Rising Rampage in like July-ish. This card is really good because in this case, he's getting Honest back, which Honest, it'll bounce itself to your hand. Obviously, Honest is comfortable there. But even if you do banish your Metaphys monsters, you can just banish them for a Metaphys and you just draw a card. So it's just perfectly awesome. Really good card. I think that people will definitely be running it in multiples in the Metaphys deck. Anyways, let's see what he's going to do. All his opponent has is basically Mystic Mind on the field, and I don't really think it's going to survive the next turn because I think that Metaphys Dimension, which is being flipped over now, is almost certainly going to banish this card. So you would say this is 100% in the favor of the Metaphys deck. I think that was troll. Why would you activate Balance of Judgment to draw one card? That's supposed to be like a win condition, bro. Anyways, first Mystic Mind gets popped. He says, no problem, Cap. Activate a Metaverse and get another copy, but his opponent also is going for this sneaky play, right? So when you're playing against Exodia, there's always the option of going for the Psyframe Lord Omega. Omega can start sniping out cards from your opponent's hand. Not right now because he has more monsters, but the second he pops this, he can Omega one of those Exodia pieces, and that will essentially make it so Exodia can never win. So he's going to go ahead and pop it. Now it looks like he might just use Omega. Well, after the battle phase, of course. I think he's going to use the Rainbow Karibo, try to stop some of that damage because he knows he's going to have to eat some right here. And I think Omega's going to snipe out the Exodia head. Again, it looks like 100% free win for Metaphys, but he is going to pot a duality for an Exodia leg. So I think he realized at this point Mystic Mind's not doing anything, so why even go for like another Metaphors? It's not doing anything for him. He realizes the only way I'm going to win is if I stall for a few turns and just get lucky and draw Exodia. He's just going to take this damage to the face. He blocks one attack with the Rainbow Karibo. That's fine. He's not out of this game yet. He's at 800 or 900 life points. This was incredibly questionable, right? So what he does was he goes into Felgrand, right? And Felgrand is fine, but why would you go into Felgrand if you knew that you could always get rid of the Exodia piece, or at least have a good chance? So I thought that was kind of questionable. Anyways, he's going to press on, and I think at this point he has nothing to do except constantly go on the battle phase and see if his opponent has a way of potentially stopping it. He is going to summon the Performapal Karibo. That gives him just enough life points to hang on, and now he's going to top deck an Exodia leg, and would you look at that, guys? He's got 4 pieces of Exodia. Place your bets on this duel, guys. Would you rather have the 4 pieces of Exodia and a couple of stall cards, or be Metaphys and have like 15? This guy has like 20 cards to his name. If he gets one battle phase through, the game's over because he only has 300 life points. I mean, this is some risky business. It's how much do you like gambling? He gets Ash Blossom, which obviously is kind of dead in this matchup right now. Swift Scarecrow is going to stop an attack, although Ash Blossom not so dead anymore because he top deck Upstart Goblin. You gotta Ash that because Ash is not giving you any value in this matchup for the most part. So he is going to get a Necroface inconsequential. He already has enough damage on board easily to win the game. He goes in the battle phase. Swift Scarecrow, the last one, is going to be used, and it looks like it's all down to this, man. This last top deck, if he gets that freaking, what is he looking for? I think he's looking for the left arm. Oh yeah, he's looking for the left arm of Exodia. If he gets it, he will win the duel, improbable as it may seem, but he's not gonna get it. Instead, he gets another Performa Pal Karibo. Now the thing is, this could potentially help him stall because it gains life points and maybe he can possibly do it, but his opponent says, Cap, I'm too smart for that. I think he realized that if he gave him another turn, that because he had been hit with Swift Scarecrow back to back, that would obviously be a mistake. So he's gonna go for something really smart here. Goes for Borloot. Savage Dragon says, I ain't even dealing with no more of those Karibo and, you know, those battle trap, hand trap shenanigans. I'm just gonna go ahead and attack. And he was so close. But unfortunately, even his top deck was not an Exodia piece. It was a copy of Terraforming, which could have gotten to Mystic Mind, but we've already established Mystic Mind was doing less than nothing in this duel, man. But he did get pretty close though. Anyway, second duel is going to be significantly quicker. It is featuring Mystic Mind, and it's featuring a burn version. I would think, honestly, that Cyframes would not have the greatest matchup, but you know, Cyframes do have Overload. It's really about when you're playing these decks in the Mystic Mind, do you have spell and trap removal outside of monster, you know, like monster effects? And Cyframes actually do, so maybe it is a good matchup. So he's gonna open up pretty good, but I think once the Mystic Mind, or once the Cyframe player realized he was playing against Burn, he was like, all right, I gotta adjust what I'm going to do here. He is going to play Lilith, and then he's going to respond to the card of Demise. Now, since his opponent has a monster on hand, he can actually activate the Cyframe from hand. That's just because, you know, Mystic Mind is not blocking it out right now, so he's gonna go ahead and he's gonna activate it, but he's gonna chain his own metaverse, and I thought maybe he'd be setting up for like a Black Rose play or something like that, but instead he goes for something far more cheekier. Check the monster he's gonna summon out, guys. Who even plays this in 2019? My man summoned the hardest of hard counters to the Mystic Mind Burn deck. That is Blackwing Dragon. If you guys didn't watch Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds and maybe you don't know about the Signer Dragons, this guy right here says if you would take damage from a card effect, place one Black Feather counter on this card instead. This card loses 700 attack for each Black Feather counter on it. And unlike Light and Darkness Dragon and other cards, there is no kind of you know, breaking point where if this card gets to 0 attack, it stops working. That's not what happened to a Blackwing Dragon. It never stops working. So as long as this card is face up on the field, you cannot take effect damage. Basically, you can't take burn damage, and it's essentially just a win condition against the Mystic Mind Burn deck, as odd as that seems. I think that's the reason why. You'll see here, he's going to activate Ojama Trio and Just Desserts. He'll take no battle damage. No effect damage. All he's going to do is just constantly lose attack from his Blackwing Dragon, and basically he can't win now. I mean, the only thing that I can think of him being, or the only way that he could possibly out this, and he's gonna scoop, is probably to top deck a Lilith, set the Lilith in defense mode, flip summon the Lilith, and then attack over Blackwing Dragon. The problem with that is if the Cyframe player ever gets Cyframe Overload, the game's over, because Overload will just Overload can take any card in your hand and just trade it in to banish one of your opponent's cards. So I think that you know, when you get Overload, the game's just over. He'll just constantly banish his Mystic Minds and his back row, and honestly, he could probably just win with any of these, like if he gets an Omega on field or something like that, game's basically over. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed those short duels. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.